Let's make something. Something beautiful together.
Hey guys, welcome to the Ace Who Plays channel and to another custom card review video. It's a new week. Hope you're all doing well, having a nice day, not melting away in the hot summer weather. So why don't you just sit down in front of your fan, in front of an open window, and enjoy this custom card review. I've got some great ones for you today, including one of my own towards the end, which I'm really happy to be able to show you. If you want to know how to submit your own custom cards, just stick around till the end of the video and I'll go over all that information then. But for right now, let's jump into some custom cards. These first three, in fact, come from M. Khan, who is, anyone who's been on my streams will definitely recognize him. And yeah, he's just a swell bloke. But he's made some Nilfgaard cards for us, and I'm going to start off with Benlo the Artieux. 4 strength, 9 provisions. He's a human knight. Deploy, lock all units in your opponent's hand until the end of their turn. Now, Khan has let me know that, as you can probably tell by the text, all the cards in the hand will be unlocked after the first turn, but if a card is played during the turn and it comes down locked, it will remain locked. So if the unit hits the board while being locked by this ability, it will stay locked, otherwise it will unlock after one turn. So obviously, the first thing you think of is, if you do this before your opponent plays their last card, you might just deny pretty much their entire finisher from this. Which is a really strong ability. Khan suggests this might be bumped up to 10 provisions because of the strength of that ability. Outside of that used, what else could this be used for? Honestly, I don't think this would be too impactful outside of that particular thing. But I mean, that would be probably the main reason you would play this. But it's definitely a cool card. And especially against decks where you're able to anticipate what cards they want to play exactly, at each different turn. You might be able to just catch them off guard with Benlo and put them back a turn, which could be really good. But yeah, denying someone's finisher, ooh, that's huge. Imagine just locking Dagger 2 blades before Harold the Cripple tries to drop him down. You're denying him 8 points, which makes this a high value card. And there are many similar finishers in the game that this card would just straight up counter. But yeah, awesome card. Let us move on. Imperial Spy. 1 strength, 7 provisions, spying unit of course. Deploy, give adjacent units poison. So this is basically very similar to, what's it called? Rot Tosser. It's a spy, poisons adjacent units. Of course, this one does it immediately, so your opponent does not get to counter this, which can make it really, really strong. Because you can guarantee you get to poison 2 units, and then you can just keep dishing out the poison every turn. Maybe play a second Imperial Spy, maybe play Fangs of the Empire. I hope you can't hear the dog that is barking outside. It's really annoying. But yeah. And it is a spy, so of course it works with the spy archetype. This card actually made me think earlier about what will happen with the spy archetype, and I think maybe spies is just going to be... Maybe it should just remain like half an archetype, and then you combine it with other things. Like you combine it with this and Rot Tosser, you get like Spy Poison. You can combine it with Duchess's Informant, in Cantarella you get Spy Assimilate. Maybe just spying is just like a core theme of Nilfgaard that you integrate with other things that they're doing. And of course this will be a valuable asset to the Poison Spy archetype. Priced very high, which is probably for the best given the guaranteed poison on 2 adjacent units. So yeah, Imperial Spy. Potentially very strong. But that's exactly what Nilfgaard needs, right? Karos Deluxe. I'm hoping I'm kind of pronouncing these semi-correctly. 3 strength, 8 provisions. Deploy, boost all allied mages in hand, deck, and on the board by 1. This is similar to Vesemir Mentor for Witchers, similar to Tamara Strenger for witch hunters, and probably should be balanced based off of those. Not so much Vesemir, because that's a neutral card, but just for reference, that's 4 strength 10 provisions, I think. Whereas Tamara Strenger is 4 strength 7 provisions, but she deploys. On deploy, she boosts all witch hunters on the board, and then you can pay a tribute of 3. So effectively, she is closer to Vesemir Mentor in terms of like costing 7 plus 3, which is 3 coins, which is roughly 10 provisions. Of course, in a tribute deck with King of Beggars, she only costs 2 on the tribute. But this guy just coming down at 8 provisions, 3 strength, guaranteed boost all your mages. That's just a term. That's just a case of balancing, right? Like, you'd have to put this in the game and see how it does. Maybe you should bump it up to 9 provisions or 4 strength, because just the guaranteed boost. Like, just look at Vesemir Mentor. That's a guaranteed boost. It costs 10. Witchers are really good. Of course, mages. Maybe mages aren't that good yet, but of course, in a perfect world, mages, witchers, witch hunters, they would all be equal power level, and so their overall boosting cards should maybe be balanced more in terms of each other. But I mean, maybe this would be perfectly balanced. With the current mages we have, this should probably be even stronger, I guess. But let us move on. Alan Castilla, or Castilla, or Alan Castilla, who knows? You do. Has given us Corrupted Heimdall. Ooh, this is spicy. Human Cultist Warrior, 4 strength, 9 provisions, similar to OG Heimdall, which I really like. Reminds me of Corrupted Flaminica and Hebe Flaminica. Same provision cost, same power. Looks similar, but one is definitely corrupted. Corrupted as hell, even. Like this. It has deploy Bloodthirst 5, gain immunity. Immunity is really strong, so Bloodthirst 5 might be necessary to balance out that. He is melee locked, like normal Heimdall. Every allied turn, on turn end, boosts self by 1 for every damaged unit on the battlefield. So it's like an ongoing engine version of Giant Boar. And I love Giant Boar. I love Heimdall. I love the design aspect behind Corrupted Flaminica. And if you just combine all of those, you get this boy. And man, does he look good. The only problem would be, of course, you want to put this down early. Because he gains, every turn he'll gain points. But you want to get the Bloodthirst 5, which, even with Arnjolf, will probably take you 4 or 5 turns. What am I saying? Like, I'm thinking 3 or 4 turns. And, of course, you want to have damaged units on the battlefield. So this guy even gets the boost. So, he would be kind of a mid-round engine, which I guess is kind of cool. Like, maybe we need more engines like that, because right now a lot of engine decks, like, you have your hand, the 10-card hand, and they're all engines you want to get down as soon as possible. But having engines that are designed to be played in the middle of the round, so like you have kind of more leeway with, okay, these I gotta play now, this can wait, preferably should wait. I really enjoyed that concept, so yeah, this is a really cool card. I love this. I love everything about this. All of these cool cards coming together to make my boy. My boy's been corrupted and I love it. But yeah, awesome card. Moving on. Now, on the Discord, and also on email, I got this on email from Taha Farosh. There's been kind of a thing about redesigning leaders, and this is a similar design that I've seen before. Basically, people don't like Usurper, and they want him to copy the opponent's leader ability instead of disabling it. Taha said this should be 10 provisions, but Gwent Generator doesn't allow anything higher than 9 because they're still in the whole leaders have mulligans kind of deal. So they only have single digits. But she was thinking, I don't know why I think it's a she. Like, they were thinking 10 provisions for this. I don't have a problem with current Usurper. I actually really like it. When I play against Usurper, it's usually not his ability that I dislike. It's Dragon Stream and Shoop. Because for some reason, the lowest provision leader is the guy that plays these expensive dumbass cards. But like, this ability just wouldn't work. And especially not at 10 provisions. Because there are so many abilities like Dana, Queen Calanth, Aced. Like, they just would not work in Nilfgaard at all. And, you know, the first two of those specify, like Scoia'tael, Northern Realms. Like, you can't have that on Usurper. Like, you'd need an extra line of text where it's like, oh, but transform it into a Nilfgaardian version. And that would just be clunky and weird. I do like the concept of, like, copying your opponent's leader ability, especially with Assimilate. It would give you more flexibility to enable these combos. But this would not work. Like, conceptually, copying your opponent's leader is awesome. And if it would work, which I don't think it ever will in Gwent, if it would work, it would be awesome for Usurper. But I like him the way he is. I know a lot of people do. And I don't see him changing. Especially not to this. So I'm sorry to those of you who want to see this happen. But it's an interesting concept for sure. Alright, these next two cards are sent to me by Dr. Embersfield, who is a name I definitely recognize from around the channel. So it was great to see them participating in the custom card review series. This is Master Ortolan. 5 strength human mage, neutral. Deploy and remove all doomed statuses from the board and boost self by 2 for each removed status. Okay, let's start with the positives. I love things that interact with Doom status. Like, I want more stuff in the game that turns Doom status into something else, not as doomed. But just looking at this card, it would be so sick. With Germain, Arrakis Queen, to a lesser degree, Bear Abominations. But like, just imagine like Skellige, Bearmaster. Like, people are already trying out Germain with Spring Equinox to purify the Doom status for a 0-point play. Imagine this guy coming down, like, it would be like 4 Doom statuses, probably 5 with Morkvarg. So it'd be like a 15-point play that made your Bearmasters like 5 points stronger. Like, it would be too sick. And imagine Arrakis Queen. Imagine all the Doom statuses there. And then, you know, Arrakis Queen, if you want to try to play as a Morntart, holy shit. This guy would be bigger than Morntart, and then you just finish off with Morntart. It would be insane. I love the concept of, like, removing Doomed and doing something with it, turning it into points in some way. But this guy is just too insane. Holy shit. But awesome art, though. Like, holy man. So much going on. I love his hat. I want that hat. I want that hat. I want that beard. I want to be this man. Moving on. Now this is a card that I really enjoy. Bloody Falco. I've seen quite a few people make their versions of this card, and I'll probably feature more of those in the future. But this is Dr. Embersfield's version. Excuse me. It's a 4-strength human, cursed unit. Deploy. Give a cursed category to all enemy units on the opposite row. It's already there. Like, we've talked about this on the Discord. I love the idea of adding tags and categories to cards. We have another card later, actually, that will be another example of that. So, awesome. And whenever a cursed unit takes damage, boosts self by 1. So, this is a really cool card. And in Northern Realms, like, of course, you have a lot of pings. Lyrian Arbalest. Just turn all those pings into 2 points instead by pinging a bunch of cursed units. So yeah, like, what can I say? It also triggers, like, when your cursed units take damage. So, you know, for whatever that's worth. Could be a couple of extra boosts if your opponent is trying to damage your units. But yeah, Bloody Falco. Really cool design. Like, tags and category alteration is just the best stuff ever. I love this card. Great design, Dr. Embersfield. Let us move on. Okay, these next two cards were sent to me by Mahip, or Mahip. M-A-H-I-P. This first one is Growth Spore. It's another artifact for monsters. It's an artifact organic plant. I don't imagine plant would ever be... Is Archospore a plant category? I don't think that's a category. But hey. Deploy, spawn an Archospore. Whenever an ally beast or an ally unit with Death Wish is played, repeat the deploy ability. Provision 7. So you spawn the Archospore, so you don't get the deploy 2 damage, but they still have the Death Wish. Lining up a bunch of Archospores and then playing... what's it called? Ritual Sacrifice, just triggering all those 2 damage. Woo, 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 woo. That would be pretty good. And just... would be pretty decent tempo once this gets going. In a Beast deck, or Death Wish deck, or both. A lot of Beasts have Death Wish, well, at least some. But you have Fiend, which has Death Wish synergy, you have Harpy Egg. I can't think of any other. Werecat. Duh. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. Giving monsters artifacts that people want to remove, so you get their artifact removal out of them, so you can play a Summoning Circle into Rand Warrior. It's always nice. But it's really cool. I would like to see more faction-specific artifacts like this, so I'm definitely on board with Growth Spore. Now this next one, there's a part of this that I love, and a part of this I think is just trash. Like, I'm just gonna say it. It's kind of bad. Part of this. It's Free Nilfgaardian. 4 strength units, 7 provisions, or and zeal. If your leader has been exhausted, so just used up, boost health by 3. If you have no golds in your deck, boost health by 4. If both conditions are met, boost health by 7. I like the first part. If your leader has been exhausted, boost health by 3. I do think, like, if this card just had that part of the ability, you could put it at like 5 or 6 provisions. Probably 5 actually, and it would be a 7 for 5 if you've exhausted your leader. The whole, if you have no golds in your deck, boost health by 4. That's just not worth not including golds. It would be cool to have like in the future some sort of archetype with a bunch of payoff cards for having less golds, no golds. But this just doesn't cut it. This is not enough to make up for not having golds. But like I said, if we actually get some sort of archetype based around having no golds, and you get like huge payoffs from your bronzes, that would be cool. Of course, if both conditions are met, boost health by 7. This would be an 11 for 7. Which, I mean, it's just not worth not playing golds for. But I love the concept of not playing golds and getting payoff through your bronzes. And I love, just if your leader has been exhausted, boost health by 3. Because Nilfgaard, they have a lot of one-time use leaders, or, leaders like Morran who gets exhausted. And I think all their leaders get exhausted besides Usurper. Which, makes this a pretty flexible card that most Nilfgaard decks can play. And, they even have, Damien de la Tour, who, unexhausts the leader. Which would even make this possible to play... Like, you can play one round 1 after using your leader once. And you can play it round 3 after using your leader again. So there's definitely nice little synergies here that I do enjoy. But the whole no golds part, the payoff is not huge enough. Like, not playing golds, trust me. I've done the no golds achievement. God, if you're going to turn that into an archetype, you're going to need some huge payoff. But hey. Maybe in the future. Like, who knows? Like, I'd be down for it. I would be down for it. Moving on. Alright, this card is one of the best designs that I've ever seen. It was sent by Florian Toth, but they say that they didn't make it. It was made by Nobleman GR, who I'm not sure who he is. But they're the ones who sent this to me, along with a bunch of their own cards, which we will feature in the future. Don't worry. This is Hostage Exchange. It's a special, it's a crime, it's a tactic. Obviously, a special is not a tag. That's right there in the corner. It says it's a Skellige card, but I imagine this would be like a Nilfgaard Syndicate dual faction card. Because it's a crime and a tactic. And it's just, Skellige doesn't do hostage exchanges, as far as I know. But that's just, semantics. Move an allied unit to the opposite row, then seize a unit with up to 3 more strength. Boy. This is cool. Like, I've been doing some math on this. Like, you can give them a 2, and then you can steal a 5. So it's a -4 plus 10, so it's 6 points, right? You can give them a 3 and seize a 6. Like this, I think, if my math is correct, this is always capped at 6 points. Yeah. It's always capped at 6 points, so it should probably be like 6 or 7 provisions. Probably not 6, because you can seize without locking, which we all know is really powerful. Like maybe 7, 8 provisions. Probably 8. Those are good tags to have on a card. And this is a pretty good card. Like, imagine, like, you're playing against Syndicate. They put a bounty on your unit. Wait, is it the guy who places the bounty who gets the card? I mean, still, they put a bounty on a unit. You just give them that unit. Steal something massive. You steal their Bersodi brothers. Epic. I really love this card, though. Oh, I really love it. And this next card is very similar, and I love it pretty much just the same. So let's move on to the last card. Well, second to last, because I have my own card towards the end. Enthrall. This is a monster card. It's a tactic. Probably should change that. There's no reason to give monsters tactics. But, that aside. Seize an enemy with 3 power or less, and give it the vampire category. So this is... It's spheres without a body, but it has vampire synergy, which is something I definitely want to see more of. We need more of that in the game. And this is just so good. Like, you steal a Nausicaa Sergeant, 6-point play, you get a engine, and you get an extra vampire. And, like, the flavor is so awesome. Like, oh, this card. And like I said earlier, like messing with the categories, giving tags, removing tags maybe. It's so cool. It is so cool. And this card, my face is so red because I'm so hot. I have to close my window, turn off the fan, and I'm excited. I get so hot and red. But whoa, this card, enthralled. I've been enthralled by this card. Does my hype seem fake to you? It kind of isn't. I'm showing it more visually than I normally would, but the hype is real. This card is awesome, and I love this. This was made by Holy Guacamole. I think I forgot to say that. Great work. I love this. I want to see. Like, Skellige could have one of these, right? That seizes an enemy and it gives it the beast category. Oh, it's just one of these cards. Like, if we just see one card like this, category altering in the game, just to show us that the design space has officially been opened to category alteration. That would make me so happy. I love this so much. Great work. And now for the grand finale, which it probably isn't, because this card is not as cool as some of the other cards. But this is my card, the third custom card I feature myself on this channel. This is valuable intel. It's a tactic for Nilfgaard. At the start of the game, remove this card from your hand or deck and create a copy of a bronze card from your starting deck to replace it with. It's intricate. There's been a few variations of this card in my brain, but this is mechanically the simplest I think I could make it. The idea, like flavor-wise, is that, like, Nilfgaard is all about spying and information. So the idea is that you get to see what you're playing against, and then this valuable intel transforms into a copy of a bronze card from your deck, which you get to choose. based on... I mean, you create it, so it's not like you get whatever you want. Maybe it should be that instead, that you just make any card, any bronze in your deck. But yeah, like basically the idea is, like, maybe you're playing against... Like, you match up against Queen Meve engines, right? And you see that and you know, okay, this is an engine deck, I want more removal, I want more locks. And then, you know, your valuable intel shows you 3 cards from your deck. It's like a Nausicaa Sergeant, an Alba Armored Cavalry, and maybe a Tourney Joust, I don't know. I mean, you go for the Alba Armored Cavalry, because that extra lock will be super valuable in this matchup. It's basically just to represent, like, you have a man on the inside who lets you know beforehand what you're going to play against, and then you can prepare for that a little bit more. So it's kind of sneaky, tactical, and like Ardal cares about a tactic from your starting deck, which this is. So even though it transforms into potentially a non-tactic, you still get Ardal value. It has Assimilate synergy because you get a deck from outside you get a card from outside your starting deck. Whew. And it's just a super sneaky card, really tactical, Nilfgaard style. I'm really happy with this. Maybe the design needs a little bit of tweaking, but hey, I think this is cool. Whew, it is hot. Good thing we're done with this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments. What did you think about all these cards? Which one was your favorite? If you want to see more videos like this, then of course drop a like and subscribe to my channel to support me and let me know that you want to see more of my stuff. Whew, it is warm. Okay, so if you want to submit your own custom cards, there are 3 main ways to do that. You can send them to me on Twitter. You can send them to me on Discord, either in a direct message just to me, or on the custom cards section of the Ace of Plays Discord server. Or you can just email them to me at aceofplaysyt@gmail.com. Links to all of these are down below. So go down there, send me your custom cards. Let us enjoy each other's creations, you know? Let us make something beautiful together. Have a good one, guys. Stay cool, stay chill. Put on your fan, open the window, go outside, take a swim. Enjoy the summer. And I'll see you very soon, hopefully. Have a good one. Patch day soon. It's gonna be great. But yeah, have a good one, and I will see you next time.